Israel conducted airstrikes in Syria. These strikes happened just a few days ago. They resulted in casualties. The strikes were a direct response to threats faced by the Druze community in Syria. Israel claims it was a warning strike. They wanted to protect the Druze people. The strikes are part of a larger pattern. This pattern is Israel's intervention in the Syrian conflict. The airstrikes are significant. They highlight the precarious position of the Druze community. They also show Israel's commitment to protecting them. These events have drawn international attention. They remind us of the complex geopolitical realities of the region. The Syrian conflict continues to have far-reaching consequences. The airstrikes highlight the plight of the Druze community. The Druze are a small religious minority. They are scattered across Syria, Lebanon, and Israel. They often find themselves caught in the middle of conflicts. Their unique religious beliefs and social structures make them vulnerable. The Druze have a long history of resilience. They have often been targeted throughout history. The recent airstrikes have brought the Druze community to the forefront. Their situation is a reminder of the human cost of the Syrian conflict. It also shows the complexities of the region. The international community must do more to protect vulnerable populations. We must find a peaceful resolution to the ongoing conflicts. Israel says it carried out the airstrikes to protect the Druze. This is not the first time Israel has intervened in Syria. They have done so on numerous occasions. They often cite the protection of their own security interests. They also want to prevent the transfer of weapons to Hezbollah. Hezbollah is a Lebanese Shia militia group. They are supported by Iran. Israel's relationship with the Druze community is complex. In Israel, the Druze are considered loyal citizens. They serve in the Israeli military. They have a high degree of social integration. However, the Druze in Syria face a different reality. They are a minority group within a predominantly Sunni Muslim country. They have faced persecution and discrimination. Israel's commitment to protecting the Druze is rooted in a number of factors. They see the Druze as a strategic asset. Their presence on the Syrian side of the Golan Heights provides Israel with valuable intelligence. There is a strong historical and cultural connection between Israel and the Druze. Israel feels a moral obligation to protect them. However, some criticize Israel's interventionist policies. They argue that these actions further destabilize the region. They say that Israel is using the Druze community for its own geopolitical gains. Regardless of the criticism, Israel's commitment to protecting the Druze is a significant factor in this conflict. The Druze community in Syria numbers around 700,000. They are concentrated in the southern part of the country in an area known as Jabal al-Druze. This mountainous region has historically provided them with a degree of autonomy and protection. The Druze have their own religious courts and social structures. They have often tried to remain neutral in Syria's conflicts. Unfortunately, the Syrian civil war, which began in 2011, has shattered their fragile peace. The Druze community has been caught in the crossfire between the Syrian government, rebel groups, and extremist organizations. They have faced threats, violence, and displacement. This precarious situation has forced them to make difficult choices. Some Druze have chosen to side with the Syrian government. They see this as the best way to protect their community. Others have joined the opposition. They are fighting for a democratic and inclusive Syria. This internal division has further complicated the situation. The recent agreement between the Syrian government and the Druze community is a positive development. It is a sign that both sides are willing to find a peaceful solution. However, the details of the agreement remain unclear. It is too early to say whether it will hold. The Israeli airstrikes and the subsequent agreement between the Syrian government and the Druze community have far-reaching geopolitical implications. The events highlight the volatile nature of the Middle East. They remind us that even seemingly localized conflicts can have global repercussions. They also underscore the complex interplay of regional and international actors. The Syrian conflict has already spilled over into neighboring countries, leading to a massive refugee crisis and fueling instability. The involvement of external powers such as Russia, Iran, and the United States has further complicated the situation. The recent events threaten to escalate tensions. Israel's actions have drawn condemnation from some quarters and praise from others. The international community remains divided on how to address the Syrian conflict. The situation in Syria is a microcosm of the challenges facing the Middle East. The region is grappling with sectarianism, political instability, and economic inequality. The international community must work together. We must find a peaceful solution to these complex problems.